Hello SLAPAFISH community, and welcome back to another Untitled Concept video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the tank reforge and on track the Sturmtiger line. So the Sturmtiger line is finally getting armor buffs, which it's been needing for the longest of time. It's exactly what it's been needing. It didn't need the accuracy buffs or anything like that. I mean, they're very big guns. It doesn't need accuracy buff to balance it. It didn't. Anyway, it finally got the armor buffs it finally needed. So, let's talk about the Sturmtiger. Now, the Sturmtiger goes, the frontal turret, the frontal structure, basically everything in the front, goes from 190 millimeters, which is actually pretty good right now. It does bounce some shots, but 230 is going to be amazing. That really is. Also, your reverse speed goes from 12 to 14, so that's fantastic, because reverse speed at 12 is completely terrible. Now, let's talk about the bar, the bear. Now, this tank, they have made a lot of buffs to this tank, and all of them have been wrong. Well, not what the tank needed. The tank, what it really needed was an armor buff, because every time you pull off the bar / the bear, you would go out in the front lines, or just anytime you would get shot, you would just get penetrated. That was it. And that was your bar. That was your bear. That was, yeah, you're a very big box, very slow, very lightly armored, and you couldn't bounce stuff. But now you can, because your frontal turret structure, basically where your gun is, goes from 210 to 230, which is really nice. It's 20 millimeters thick or more thick, but it's not as good as the whole improvement. The whole armor goes from 130 to 170, which is absolutely insane. So I'm interested to see how good the bear gets, or does it get any good? Yeah, the lack of gun depression will still suck, but armor buffs like that, ooh, so good. It goes from 30 to 35 to help out its mobility and its chassis rotation from first track upgrade from 0.16 to 0.03. Wait, this dispersion. So basically when you're turning the tank, your reticle won't get as big as before, from 0.16 to 0.03 to 0.14 to 0.03. Now the Sturmtiger P, the other tank on this line that people didn't really like. I didn't really play the Sturmtiger P. I played the bear, but never did play the Sturmtiger P. I did play it on the super test, but remember the armor did failing, and it's a Tiger P hole at tier 8. So I was like, it's not really going to hold up. So at tier 8. That's what I was thinking about on the super test, about 8 months ago, really. So anyway, now we've finally got armor buffs for the Sturmtiger P. The whole corners, basically what they did to the Tiger P, is now happening to the Sturmtiger P. From 80 to 110. Basically those side plates, like those angle plates at the front of the hull, they're really easy to pin at pretty much any angle, are going to be thicker, so it's not that easy to pin. Your frontal superstructure, basically everything at the front that's 200 millimeter is going to 215, so making your frontal armor that much stronger. And the reverse speeds happen the same thing to the Sturmtiger P as it happened to the Sturmtiger, from 12 your reverse speed to 12 to 14. And just like the bear, your dispersion during movement and rotation is getting improved on both track sects. So 0.21 to 0.18 for dispersion during movement, 0.21 to 0.05 while turning the tracks, and for your second track upgrade, it's 0.19 to 0.16 during movement, and 0.19 to 0.05 during rotation. So helping you keep that reticle down while you turn the tank, because of how little the gun arc is. So that's really going to help. So next tank is the tier 5, which is the Stuggy 33B. Its range has been increased from 310 to 330. It's got more concealment from 0.17 to 0.21. I'm just going to round that up, 0.21. And its reload went from 10.3 to 9 seconds, which is actually really nice. Now, the Sturmtiger, the Studer E-Mill, that tier 7 German tank destroyer has like 15 or 16 degrees of gun depression. And the Sturmtiger, the Studer E-Mill, its ammunition is going from 15 to 23, so that's really nice. Always had like a limited amount of ammunition. I've always met Studer E-Mills when it was a long game, always running out of ammunition. Now, they have 8 more rounds of ammunition, so they don't run out of ammunition, hopefully. They might, especially on those very, very long games. Now we move on to the AE Phase 1, or the Fingula. Both tanks. Dispersions have went down, same like what happened to the Bar and the Sturmtiger P. Turret rotation went from 26 to 30. Its DPM went up, which its reload went down from a 13.5 to 11, and its aim time went to 2.7 to 2.5. Now, that reload buff of 2.5 seconds is actually really nice. Now, the next one is the Amex Chaffee. The Amex Chaffee is getting a hit point buff from 600 to 800. Yes, it will make it survive better. Did it need it? No. And I'm going to explain why. So, the Amex Chaffee used to be a tier 6. You'd be like, oh, it was a tier 6 with 600 hit points. That makes sense, right? Well, back in the day, the Amex Chaffee was a tier 6 that fought tier 10s. So, you were the Amex Chaffee fighting tier 10s with 600 hit points. So, us that remember fighting with the Amex Chaffee back then in the tier 10 matches with 600 hit points, because you was almost all the way, almost all the time in tier 10 matches with the Amex Chaffee. It was just a thing that Amex Chaffee did. Then the light tank update came and some things happened, and the Amex Chaffee went to tier 7. It got moved up to tier 7, but you can no longer fight tier 10s. You're just fighting tier 9s now. So it's like, oh, the Amex Chaffee's getting a buff. Cool. So we don't have to fight tier 10s anymore. We just fight tier 9s, which is a great buff to the tank. But now, the tank's going up from 600 hit points to 800, which is still nice, but it didn't need it. But hey, it's fine. I just 3-marked my Amex Chaffee at 600 hit points. So anyway. So the next one is the T26E4 Super Pershing, or the Freedom. It's getting a horsepower per ton increase from 10 to 11.6. It's not going to help it out a lot, but it's definitely going to be a boost on there. You'll definitely maybe feel it. It'll help you go up hills faster, definitely. Now, like I said earlier, the Sturmtiger is on track from April 26th to May 10th. If you play the tier 3, if you play this entire line, you get a 25% XP bonus. And if you buy the tier 3, the 4, the 5, or the 6, you get a 50% silver bonus. You buy the 7, the 8, the 9, or the 10, you get a 30% silver bonus. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So anyway, also, I'm live right now on Twitch, so if you want to come follow me on Twitch, I'll be playing the Sturmtiger line on Twitch. So right now, on Twitch. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also remember to SLAPAFISH, because of always not, and peace out. See ya.